If you are a parent or have friends who are, chances are you all think you have the most beautiful children, right? The internet might have something to say about that. Surprisingly, the web has turned into a place to not only judge adults on their beauty, but children as well. These are the kids that have left the world mesmerized with their beauty and what they are doing now. Did young model KRISTINA Pimenova's beauty stand the test of time? Stay tuned to find out. If you are new to our channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. Today we are showing you 10 of the most beautiful kids in the world all grown up. LANEYA Grace. If you've never heard of LANEYA Grace, you might want to write it down because she has a big future ahead of her. The now teenager was born in San Francisco, California in 2004. When she was 3 years old, her father took some photos of Grace and submitted them to Ford Models. Soon after, the agency called her parents wanting to meet little LANEYA Grace. When they made it to the Ford offices in San Francisco, there was already a contract waiting. It didn't take long for Grace to book her first job with the department store Macy's. Sadly, it was short-lived because a few years later, Ford got rid of their children's division, and Grace had to unwillingly take a break from modeling. During that time, the young model got braces on her teeth and prepared for her comeback. She signed with a new agency called JADE, and the braces came off, and she hasn't looked back since. She's worked with Ralph Lauren, Old Navy, and was even featured in the Avicii Wake Me Up video. So, what has she been up to these days? The now 13-year-old model is headed to 8th grade and still modeling. She's now signed with Wilhelmina Models and also has quite an impressive following on social media. SHARBAT GULA. You may have never heard the name SHARBAT GULA, but there is a pretty good chance you have seen her face. In 1984, National Geographic photographer Stephen McCurry snapped a photo of GULA when she was a schoolgirl. She was outside a refugee camp in Pakistan when she gave the photographer permission to take her picture. The stunning portrait made the front cover of National Geographic in June of 1985, and for the next 17 years she would be known as Afghan Girl. The world was instantly drawn to the little girl's beautiful green eyes. Everyone questioned if she made it and wondered what the stunning child was up to now. In 2002, McCurry went on a mission to find GULA and went back to the refugee camp where he captured the photo. Thankfully, someone recognized the picture and led GULA to the photographer and his team. The little girl had clearly grown up, just look at the difference. She told the photographer she remembered the day he took her picture. She claimed it upset her that a stranger took her photo, and it was the first and only picture of the woman until 2012. GULA comes from a very war-torn area and has had a rough life. In 2016, she was arrested for illegally trying to obtain a Pakistani identification card. ANASTASIA BEZRUKOVA. By the time she was 8 years old, she was already a well-known model in Russia. Even though she was so young, she had a huge portfolio that showed off her incredible range. She could shoot glamour, lifestyle, fashion, beauty, sports, the list goes on and on. That is more versatility than some adult models we know. There is literally nothing Bezrukova could not do as a child model. Because of this, she began booking with some pretty impressive fashion labels like Armani and publications like Harper's Bazaar. Just look at her cover on Baby Marlin magazine. It's hard to believe that the girl was only 8 years old at the time, right? She seemed so adult-like already. So what happens when you take over the fashion world at such a young age? You move on to bigger and better things, of course. Bezrukova is now 13 and pursuing an acting career. In Russia, she is most notable for her role as Kiara in the Russian release of After You're Gone. Considering she's just getting her feet wet in her acting career, we can expect to see more from this beautiful young lady. Ann Turner Cook. You've seen her face for decades, but you've probably never known her name. She has one of the most recognizable faces on the planet, and it's because it is so adorable. This is Ann Turner Cook, but you and the rest of the world know her as the Gerber baby. In 1927, when she was only 4 months old, Turner Cook's neighbor, Dorothy Hope Smith, decided to sketch a drawing of her. The following year, the baby food brand Gerber launched a contest to find a face for the brand. Smith submitted her sketch of Turner Cook and attached a note saying that if it were chosen, she would finish the drawing. It turned out that the bigwigs at Gerber loved the picture and wanted it to stay just the way it was. Turner Cook's portrait was soon plastered on every Gerber product and even trademarked in 1931. The brand kept the identity of the baby a secret for 40 years until 1978, and Taylor Cook finally revealed that she was in fact the child in the portrait. Can you still see the resemblance? We sure can. The Gerber baby is now a 90-year-old retired English teacher and is still as adorable as ever. Mackenzie Foy. If you are a fan of Twilight, then you already know not just anyone could play the gorgeous daughter of Edward and Bella Cullen. Luckily, casting directors nailed it when they cast Mackenzie Foy. Just look how adorable she was as a child. Not only had she been around for a while, but she was also spot on to play the part. When she was younger, Foy was called a child model. She worked with well-known brands like Guess Kids and Polo by Ralph Lauren. From there, she started getting even more success by working with Target, Mattel, and the Walt Disney Company. In 2009, the young model decided to take her chances at becoming an actress. She starred in small roles on Hawaii Five-0 and Flash Forward. Her big break came from being cast as Renesmee Cullen in Breaking Dawn Part 2. From there, she starred alongside Matthew McConaughey as his daughter Murph Cooper in Interstellar. These roles pretty much sealed her fate as a Hollywood star. Though she is still acting, Foy has her eyes set on the prize of being a film director. She's now 16 years old and shows no signs of slowing down. Be on the lookout to see what is next from this bright young star. Jade Weber. You may have seen Jade Weber before, and it's because she is just now starting to make a big name for herself in the States. The young model was born in 2005 in Hong Kong. Not much is known about her parents, but she is of French descent. Weber was raised by her two older brothers Mathieu and Thibault. Though she is still really young, she has been able to rack up a pretty impressive modeling resume. As a child, she worked with brands like Levi's, Old Navy, and Xoxobella. Her family has moved from Hong Kong and are now residing in Los Angeles. Weber is now modeling from LA Models Youth Division. She has landed deals with H&M, Forever 21, and even Abercrombie & Fitch. If she looks familiar to you, it's probably because you've seen her in a certain someone's music video. Fans of Hayden Summerall watched Jade Weber strut her stuff in his cover video of The Weeknd's I Can't Feel My Face. Considering she was only 10 at the time, we can see that the little girl is growing up fast. Now at 12 years old, she is acting and traveling the world as a model. She has even been able to build a pretty impressive following on Instagram. Only time will tell if Jade Weber will be a household name in the future. Fatima PTACEK. Looking at younger photos of Fatima PTACEK, does she look familiar to you? She's a sweet little girl, isn't she? Did you know she is the girl who voices Dora from Dora the Explorer? She is all grown up. She's a 17-year-old high school student in New York City. PTACEK is trying to maintain a pretty normal life aside from having a famous voice. She walks her dog, does chores, goes to gymnastics, and spends quality time with her family, all while having a legit career as a voiceover artist. Sounds pretty exhausting, don't you think? In her downtime, she says she likes to read. She often finds herself reading herself to sleep. If we had a schedule like hers, we wouldn't even know when to find time to relax, let alone sleep. She seems to be handling it all really well. That was until she got into a little bit of trouble at school in 2016. The young voice star was caught smoking from a water vapor pipe in a high school bathroom. There was nothing illegal in the pipe, but she and a friend still got disciplined. PTACEK was suspended for 3 days and her friend was expelled from the exclusive school. Hopefully they both learned their lessons. Diana Pentovich. Out of all of the beautiful children on this list, Diana Pentovich may be the least recognizable, unless you are a huge fan of fashion. This Russian beauty was born in 2004, but didn't start modeling until a bit later. When she was 7 years old, Pentovich was well on her way to a modeling career. It all happened by accident. Pentovich's mother registered amateur photos of the child modeling to a fashion website for children. It didn't take long for photographers to show interest in working with the beautiful little girl. She did some test photo shoots and was able to sign to a modeling agency in Russia. The rest is history. The young girl was considered one of Russia's top 10 most beautiful children models. She has done a little bit of growing in the 6 years since her discovery. The now 13-year-old is still very gorgeous and working with some major fashion publications like Elle and Harper's Bazaar. Just look at her gorgeous long hair. She is really growing into a beautiful young woman. Considering she started so young, we hope she doesn't grow tired of the industry. All we can say is that she is stunning and has a long career ahead of her if she keeps it up. Joey King. You may already know the grown-up version of Joey King, but did you know she started acting at the age of 4? Did you also know that she happened to be one of the cutest kids ever? Before her time on the big screen, King acted in over 100 commercials as a child. Thanks to her natural talent and calmness behind the camera, King was able to transition from the commercial work to film acting. The world first got a taste of her acting chops when she was a guest star on Disney's The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. King was only 7 years old, and at that time she caught the acting bug. In the following years, she has become a bona fide TV and movie star. She has also grown into a beautiful young woman at the age of 17. Her most notable roles are that of Ramona Quimby in Ramona and Beezus, as well as Greta Grimley in the Fargo TV series. The actress is keeping herself busy filming in South Africa for the upcoming The Kissing Booth movie. She is also set to star in 2018's Slender Man movie. Let's just say she is one of the only child stars who have been able to transition into adult stardom. KRISTINA PIMENOVA. She's had the fashion world on their head since she was only 4 years old. There is a good reason, because the little girl is truly gorgeous. It shouldn't be a surprise that KRISTINA PIMENOVA is the daughter of a Russian model. It was actually her mother who introduced her to fashion by bringing her to her photo shoots when she was a baby. It didn't take long for photographers to take an interest in the cute little girl and take pictures of her. The pictures apparently turned out fantastic, and the tiny tot started a career in modeling. She's worked with the likes of Vogue Bambini, Robert Cavalli, and Benton, to name a few. There have been a few controversies that came with the territory of having the most beautiful child in the world. One controversy involved internet users getting upset that Pimenova's mother posted bikini photos of the underage girl to her Instagram account. Of course, her mother stood by her decision and said these people were sick. These days, the beautiful model is now 12 years old and living in Los Angeles, where she has signed a contract with LA Models. She travels the world modeling and doesn't take any of it for granted. She is having fun and still living the life of an average tween girl. For more of your favorite child stars or pop culture, check out our friends at The Trendy. What do you think about these most beautiful kids in the world that are all grown up? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to The Taco. Thanks for watching.